So satisfying that afternoon snack attack may not be such a bad thing after all. A new study finds snacking between meals can actually help with appetite control. Of course, it all depends on what you choose to nosh on. Joining us live via remote with more details on this study is Dr. David Katz of Yale University's Prevention Research Center. Dr. Katz, thanks so much for joining us.
My pleasure, Tanya. Thank you.
So, Dr. Katz, as we all know, millions of Americans are battling obesity and going on diets. They're told to exercise more, eat right, and cut out snacking in between meals. But this study actually says snacking is not such a bad idea. Can you elaborate?
Sure, and as you suggested, Tanya, it really all depends what you snack on. By and large, people are snacking on all the wrong things, foods that are loaded up with calories and not loaded up with good nutrition that keeps you full. Now, if you remember, Tanya, when we were kids, our mothers used to tell us, don't snack in between meals, it'll spoil your appetite. Well, we remembered that in my lab and thought, well, maybe if we give people really wholesome snacks, it'll do just that. It'll help dial down their appetite and help them be less hungry and control their weight. So we studied roughly 100 overweight adults. Half of them were assigned to just stay on their usual diet, and we asked half of them to actually add 2 kind fruit and nut bars, these very nutritious snack bars, to their diet every day for 2 months. And we saw no weight gain whatsoever, and actually a hint of health improvement in a variety of measures. So healthy snacking basically helps keep you full, reduces your intake of food at mealtime, and may be a useful strategy for long-term weight control.
So for this one group, they added just this 1 bar a day, or 2 bars a day, did you say? I'm sorry. Two bars a day.
2 bars a day, right.
And they were allowed to continue
and
to
actually,
eat everything else that they ate normally.
Well, you know, actually, I think that's one of the things that's most interesting about the study, Tanya. You know, in some ways, it's almost a failure in the research methodology we designed. We asked these people to add 2 kind bars a day. We didn't give them any advice about how to make room for these extra calories. So we were giving them almost 360 calories a day. And because these bars are wholesome, filling, satisfying, the participants in the study just adjusted automatically for these extra calories. So they're getting very nutritious foods, spreading out their calories by snacking, but they didn't add calories, they made room for them. And that was without any coaching from us.
Interesting.
And so again, I think it shows that automatically if you snack on the right kinds of food, it just naturally dials your appetite down.
Did they then pull out other foods from their daily diet?
Well, we did the best we could over the course of these 2 months to monitor their diets, and the dietary pattern changed very slightly, but basically what we saw is that they were just reducing portion sizes of foods at mealtime to make room for the snacking. But again, not because we coached them to do that, it just happened automatically. What's important, I think, about this is a lot of the foods most Americans eat are not of high nutritional quality. If we can identify snack foods such as the kind bars we used in this study that do offer really high quality nutrition, if we add those to the diet and other foods are bumped out, overall nutritional quality will actually improve.
All right, so let's talk about what are ideal snacks and when might be a good time of the day to indulge in these healthy snacks.
Okay, good questions, Tanya. And to answer the second question first in terms of time of day, we recommended to the participants in our study that they eat one of the kind snack bars kind of late morning between breakfast lunch and one between lunch and dinner, pretty evenly spaced out. That tends to work well for most people, but what I would say is that you're the boss. You know, we can tell you what kinds of snack foods are a good idea, and you can then decide when to have them during the day, but spacing them out evenly seems to work well. And in terms of the kinds of food, the simple answer is foods close to nature. You really ought to be able to identify the ingredients. They ought to be familiar things, fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds. So foods that are made from those ingredients, like the kind bars are made from basically fruits and nuts, are a great opportunity to have a food you love that loves you back by promoting your health, by improving your diet quality, and by helping you control your appetite.
And do we have to worry about snack size, even if we're choosing these healthy snacks? I mean, you said 1 kind bar in between meals. What if that doesn't fill you up? Can you eat 2, or should you just try to stop at 1?
Well, to some extent, Tanya, it depends on you. If you are a large person, if you're a very physically active person, if you have a high metabolism, frankly, it may be that you need 2 bars and somebody else needs 1 and you won't gain weight. So it'll vary to some extent by the individual. But absolutely, if you will, the dose makes the poison, and ultimately in terms of weight, you can overeat anything. You can overeat even nutritious foods. But one of the advantages of really nutritious snacks like the Kind bars is they're satiating. They fill you up. They actually help reduce the number of calories it takes to feel full and stay full. So to some extent, portion control takes care of itself.
And we just have to ask, Doctor, are you in any way associated with Kind?
I have no direct ties to Kind. Kind Healthy Snacks funded the study, but as is always the case when we do research, my lab had total control over both the methods of the research and the interpretation of the results.
And of course, there are many, many healthy snacks that people can choose. Like you said, the yogurt and the berries, the apples and the peanut butter, the carrots and the hummus. Absolutely. All right.
Those are all good ones, Tanya. You're right. What we've done here is prove the principle with one example. There are many other choices.
Thank you so much, Dr. Katz, for all that great information. And remember, you can follow ABC News Now on Facebook and Twitter. Just search ABC News Now.